The war between Earth's coalition forces and the Hyranen conglomerate had burned across 4 star systems by the time Sergeant Marcus Hale stepped off the dropship and into the dust-red valley of Vortis 3. Smoke stained the atmosphere. Broken hulls of ships, human and Hyranen both, jutted from the dunes like the bones of fallen beasts. Marcus had fought through every campaign since the war began, and he was tired in a way that sleep could never fix. The Coalition's forward command base was a cluster of metal domes and shield pylons surrounded by trenches. As Marcus approached, he could already hear cheering inside. Something was going on, something big. He pushed through the crowded entry corridor into the main hangar. Soldiers stood packed shoulder to shoulder, whooping and clapping as a group of officers dragged an alien woman up onto a makeshift platform. She was tall, ethereal, with shimmering blue-silver skin and hair that shifted like strands of starlight. Her eyes glowed faintly, a natural bioluminescence common among the Hyranen. Her hands were bound behind her back. Commander Rourke, a broad-shouldered man with cold eyes, raised a megaphone. "Today," Rourke boomed, "we celebrate our victory at the Ridge of Carvas. We captured one of their strategists, one of the key planners of the resistance." And as tradition dictates, the soldier with the highest valor score on this front receives the honor of taking custody of the asset. Cheers erupted. Marcus felt a pit tighten in his stomach. "Asset!" The Hyranen woman kept her chin high, refusing to show fear. Then Rourke turned, grinning. "And that soldier is Sergeant Marcus Hale?" The crowd roared his name. Marcus froze. He hadn't asked for this. He didn't want it. 2 officers marched the alien woman toward him and shoved her forward. She stumbled, almost falling, then straightened again with quiet dignity. Her eyes met Marcus's, calm but fierce. Rourke slapped Marcus on the back. "She's yours now. Use her knowledge. Break her. Do whatever you need. You earned it." A chill crept down Marcus's spine. This wasn't a prize. This was a person. He exhaled slowly, steadying his voice. "Sir, with respect, what exactly am I supposed to do with her?" Rourke raised an eyebrow. "Information extraction. You're one of our best interrogators." "Don't pretend you're confused." "I'm a soldier," Marcus replied, "not a jailer, and certainly not." Rourke stepped closer, lowering his voice to a steel edge. "You'll do as you're ordered." The alien woman watched silently, but Marcus could feel her attention sharpen. "Take her to your quarters," Rourke commanded. "Report progress within 48 hours." The crowd dispersed, still buzzing, but Marcus stood frozen, anger simmering beneath his calm exterior. The alien woman spoke for the first time, her voice soft but steady. "If you intend harm, human, do it honestly. Do not pretend reluctance." Marcus shook his head. "I'm not going to hurt you." "Then you are in danger," she replied. He didn't argue. He knew she was right. Marcus's quarters were small, a cot, a desk, a wall locker, and a viewport showing the swirling storms of Vortis 3. He unbound her hands gently. She rubbed her wrists but said nothing. "My name is Marcus," he offered. She studied him a long moment. "Lyrana, strategist of the 5th Hyranen Accord." He nodded. "Why were you at the Ridge?" "Because your commanders intend to seize the geothermal cores beneath the Hyranen cities and collapse our habitat network." Her eyes narrowed. "You know this." Marcus's jaw clenched. He knew parts of it, rumors, briefings that danced around the ethics, but soldiers weren't told everything. "Look," he said carefully, "my orders are to interrogate you, but I'm not going to." "Then your leaders will punish you." "Probably. You risk your life for an enemy." Her voice held no mockery, only curiosity. You're not my enemy, Marcus said quietly. Not like this. She watched him, her expression unreadable. Then why fight in this war? That question cut deeper than Marcus expected. He'd enlisted for Earth's defense, for unity, for the idea that humanity was threatened. But over the years, the victories hollowed out. The missions felt less like protecting and more like conquering. He'd buried those doubts because soldiers weren't supposed to question. But now he looked at Lyrana and saw a person, not an asset, and he felt sick at the thought of what the command expected him to do. I don't know any more, he admitted. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Lyrana stepped toward the viewport, gazing at the storm outside. The Hyranen did not seek this war, she said, but we will not surrender our worlds. Humans think the same way, Marcus replied. Both sides believe they're defending themselves. She turned. I believe you speak truth. That makes you different from most I've encountered. I'm not special, Marcus muttered. Perhaps not, but your choices will matter. Over the next day, Marcus kept Lyrana in his quarters, not as a prisoner, but as a guest he wasn't allowed to let leave. He brought her food from the mess. They talked. She explained Hyranen culture, their networked cities, their philosophy of coexistence with planetary ecosystems. Marcus explained Earth's fractured history and humanity's hunger for expansion. You fight because you fear extinction, Lyrana said. Maybe, Marcus replied, but sometimes it feels like we're causing it. She nodded slowly. Our worlds are delicate. The geothermal cores keep our habitats stable. If your commanders seize them, millions will die. Marcus's blood ran cold. You're sure? Yes, he swallowed hard. Rourke had hinted that the Hyranen were hiding strategic energy sources, but he'd never said the consequences. If Marcus didn't act, this war would become a genocide. As if summoned by his guilt, the door slid open and Commander Rourke strode inside with two security officers. Marcus sprang to his feet. Sir, Rourke brushed past him. I came for your report. 48 hours is nearly up. His cold gaze landed on Lyrana. She seems in good condition, Rourke said, meaning you've gotten nothing out of her. Marcus forced a level tone. She hasn't given me any information. She will, Rourke growled, and if you won't break her, I'll assign someone who will. Marcus stepped between them. Sir, no, Rourke stared at him. Is that insubordination, Sergeant? Yes, Marcus said softly, if that's what you need to call it. Rourke's expression darkened. You're letting sympathy cloud your duty. This isn't sympathy, Marcus replied, his voice rising. It's humanity. We're not supposed to torture prisoners. We're at war. Don't pretend your conscience matters more than victory. It matters more than cruelty, Marcus snapped. Rourke leaned close until their foreheads nearly touched. I'll give you 1 hour, Hale, 1 hour to get results. Then she's transferred to special extraction. He spun on his heel and left, the officers following. The door sealed behind them. Lyrana exhaled slowly. Special extraction? You don't want to know, Marcus said. We need to get you out of here. You would help me escape. Marcus looked around the room, his uniform, his gear, the rifle leaning against the wall, everything that defined him as a soldier, everything that now felt like chains. Yes, he said, I would. Then we must hurry. The base was preparing for another assault, which meant chaos, soldiers running, alarms sounding, transports lifting off. Marcus used the commotion to slip out with Lyrana, both wearing helmets and breathing masks to blend in. He led her through maintenance corridors toward the landing docks. But as they rounded a corner, 2 security officers spotted them. Hail, one yelled. Stand down. Marcus pulled Lyrana behind him and raised his hands. I'm just transferring the prisoner, Orders changed, the officer barked. Commander wants her now. Marcus's pulse pounded. He saw it in the officer's eyes, suspicion. They knew. The second officer reached for his weapon. Marcus reacted on instinct. He slammed the first officer into the wall and grabbed the other's arm, twisting the weapon away. A struggle broke out, brief, brutal. Marcus disarmed both and locked them in a maintenance closet. His breath shook. He decrossed the line. "Your people will brand you a traitor," Lyrana said. "I know," he replied. "Come on." They sprinted through the corridor, alarms beginning to blare behind them. Someone had discovered the officers. The clock was ticking. The landing docks stretched wide under a shimmering energy shield. Dropships hovered, loading troops and supplies. Marcus pointed to a small scout shuttle near the edge. That one fast and lightly guarded. But as they approached, a squad of soldiers blocked the path, Commander Rourke at their head. "Hail," Rourke barked. "Don't do this." Marcus tightened his grip on the stolen pistol. "Let us go, sir. Just walk away." Rourke shook his head slowly. "You were one of my best. I don't want to shoot you." "You'll have to," Marcus said. The soldiers raised their rifles. Lyrana stepped forward. "Your war will destroy us all," she said, "but you can still choose peace." Rourke sneered. "Peace is surrender." "No," Marcus replied. "Peace is survival." Rourke's expression hardened. "Last chance, Hale." Marcus fired first into the ground between them, a warning. The soldiers hesitated. Then the base shook violently. A distant explosion thundered. Rourke spun toward the noise. "What now?" Lyrana's eyes widened. "My people, they're striking the geothermal control station to collapse it before you take it." Marcus felt the blood drain from his face. "They destroy their own cities. To stop you from turning them into weapons," Lyrana whispered. Rourke turned back, fury twisting in his face. "That's it, I'm done negotiating." He raised his rifle. Marcus grabbed Lyrana and dove behind a support pillar as gunfire erupted. Sparks flew. Soldiers shouted. Marcus returned fire carefully, aiming to disable, not kill. The pillar shuddered under the barrage. "We can't stay here," Marcus gasped. "There." Lyrana pointed to an auxiliary lift. They sprinted. Shots grazed the ground around them. Marcus hit the lift control. The doors slid open just as bullets ricocheted off the frame. They ducked inside. The doors slammed shut. Rourke's distant shout echoed behind them. "Hale, you're a dead man." The lift descended into darkness. They emerged in the sub-hangar where older, partially decommissioned ships were stored. Marcus scanned the room. "If we can get one of these working," he stopped. Lyrana was staring at a sleek vessel half covered by tarp. Its hull gleamed silver blue. "That is Hyranen-made," she whispered. "From the first days of the conflict." "How did it get here?" Marcus asked. "They must have captured it early in the war." "Can you fly it?" She gave a faint smile. "Better than you can." Together, they tore off the tarp and climbed aboard. The cockpit lit up as Lyrana touched the control node. Symbols glowed across the console. The engines hummed with a soft pulse. Then a siren echoed through the hangar. "Unauthorized vessel activation," a synthetic voice announced. "Security converging." Marcus strapped into the co-pilot seat. "Just get us airborne." Lyrana's hands danced across the interface. The ship lifted. The hangar doors began to shut automatically. "Not good," Marcus muttered. Lyrana angled the ship forward. "Hold on." The vessel shot ahead, scraping through the narrowing gap just as the doors sealed behind them. They burst into Vortis 3's stormy sky. For a few seconds, Marcus felt weightless relief. Then a barrage of missiles streaked toward them from the base turrets. "Do you see those?" Marcus shouted. I do, Lyrana replied calmly. Help me. She indicated a glowing panel. Marcus placed his hands on it. The ship synced with him, responding to his reflexes. Lyrana guided the flight path. Marcus controlled the defensive maneuvers. The ship spiraled, dove rolled, missiles detonating in the clouds behind them. They punched through the atmosphere into space. Silence. Stars stretched endlessly around them. Marcus slumped back, breath shaking. We made it. For now, Lyrana said gently, but your people will hunt you. I know. And my people will not trust you. I know that too, she turned to him. Then why do this? Marcus looked at the stars, at the vastness that both united and divided their species. Because someone had to stop the cycle, he said. Someone had to choose something other than fear. Lyrana studied him, then nodded once, a gesture of respect. Then your courage may yet change the tide. Where to? Marcus asked. There is a neutral refuge station beyond the outer belt, she said, a place where neither side holds power. We can speak to mediators there. He exhaled in relief. A place to start. Not over, Lyrana corrected. Forward. The ship glided into the darkness, two fugitives, two former enemies, united by the fragile hope that one act of defiance could ignite something greater than war. And though Marcus didn't know what the future held, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. Not given by commanders, not earned through battle, but chosen by him, by both of them, together.